Welcome back, everybody, to the Levity Floatcast. Whether this is your first episode or you're floating through the archives, we're glad you're here with us. Today we're joined with Bryer Blumenschein. Troy, what did she say it means in German?
I totally was doing audio stuff and didn't catch it.
Blooming flowers.
Blooming flowers.
How cool is that? Bryer, this is your first time in the studio. I know you work with marketing quite a bit. I know you've worked for some different publications, an event planner, and now you're blogging and doing, a lot of editorial type blogs. How would you describe yourself?
Oh boy. Super kind, and I'm a go-getter. I like to put myself out there into adventurous situations, I guess.
That's what led you here to flotation.
Yeah,
therapy.
and Troy, really.
Right on.
I had to get you out here. We've worked together so much. So, me give a little compliment to you. She's an amazing event planner, amazing worker, hard working person, just does it all.
That's awesome. Bryer, what are some of the positions you've held here while in Pittsburgh? And first, are you a Pittsburgh native?
Yes.
Right
Pittsburgh
on.
native. I grew up in the North Hills. I live in the South Side right now. I worked for Baron Batch at Studio AM for about 2 years. And then I worked for the Pittsburgh City Paper as their events and marketing coordinator. And now I'm kind of just in between stuff.
As a lot of people are.
Yeah,
as
COVID
a lot of people
hit us
are.
pretty hard.
Right on. A lot of transitions. What type of stuff did you do for Studio AM?
A little bit of everything. It was like an event space and an art space. So I sold artwork. I planned parties. I kind of gathered like-minded creative people into the same space just to kind of meld minds and stuff. It was really a great and neat experience.
That's how Bryer and I met, is through Studio AM. I don't know how, but I had a connection with Louie. Or was it Cam? I don't know. Someone in our art world, and then I just remember being I
think it's Louie.
Wide-eyed and happy walking in we're going to do things here, but I had no idea what was going on. And then pretty soon we're 4 shows deep. There's empanadas and burgers slinging out the back and strawberry water, which we all went crazy over.
I missed that. That's so funny.
It was strawberry.
I was going to say, there's no way we're walking past strawberry water. Talk to me about that.
We had Chef Steve, who was our resident chef, I guess, and he used to make, it was 20 gallons of sugar and 30 strawberries and water.
It was fancy Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But we loved it. It was
awesome.
so good.
That's awesome. And it's cool to see the roots of Pittsburgh, as we were linked with Studio AM when we first started. At that time, Baron Batch and John Malicki were the first people that said this was a good idea. So it's really cool to see things come around full circle. And then you said for the Pittsburgh City Paper, what did you do there?
I was in events and marketing. So they hired me as an event coordinator, and then I kind of got my foot in the door and really started pushing our social media and our email marketing, as well as planning some pretty large scale events with Troy's help again. So
And most of the City Paper ones were you, let's be honest.
Well, yeah, but I mean, your help was always there for sure. So
can you walk us back? What led you here? What for
here
in total for the event planning, for what drew you to marketing and social media?
Just a series of events, really. It was I only went through a couple years of school, and so then after that I just kind of ended up doing and knowing a lot of people I met, and then through life I just kind of ended up with a bunch of experience that led me to where I am now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, especially sharing a similar space. Can you talk about event coordination in the sense of the creativity behind it? How do you approach it? What type of mind? What does it take? And I ask this because something like Battle of the Beast, everybody just sees that as a fashion show, or for an event you did, the Pittsburgh Best Of. Everybody just sees that, but they don't understand every piece that goes behind. What is the creative process behind putting something together?
Oh man, that's a tricky question. It depends on the event for sure. A lot of what I did with the paper was, we had an end goal and a budget, and but usually it starts with a concept, and then for me, I just kind of go into my, Rolodex, and I'm who do I know that can help me with this, and who do I know that would help spread the word about what I'm doing. And then from there, it kind of grows. So it's a lot of attention to detail. It's a lot of planning. Something's going to go wrong. I always say
does.
that, even though I'm going to be so stressed the whole day. And then, it is what it is.
Okay, cool. And what's the event that you put on that you're most proud of?
Best of, for sure. Last year we had over 1,000 people there. It was just all the best things in the city. Best, taco, best hair cutter, I don't know, whatever. It was just really neat. We had the mayor there. There were like acrobats and fire breathers and all sorts of really neat things. So that was a really special day. I'm sad that they can't do it this year, but COVID. So
Yeah, a lot of good food was there.
yeah. Oh my God. There were, I think 50 restaurants that served food.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was a lot of moving pieces. I've never been so stressed in my whole life, but by the end it was like really fulfilling for sure.
How do you handle that stress?
I think that's
She
a better
doesn't.
question for Troy.
No.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I just kind of keep moving and it's fine.
I think like having shared a similar position, it's one of those things where like the day of, you have to tell yourself that you can't do anything more at this point. But like
Yeah.
seeing her and knowing myself, you're on one. It's honestly like you're on a drug. Like you're just rolling. Like
It's
this
totally
is me,
hard
and
to
if
explain.
everything goes down,
Totally.
it's my fault.
For sure. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But I mean, usually it doesn't.
Yeah, like actually, just for one event that I threw that Bryer was a huge part of, Under the Bridge, only one thing went wrong, and like
I was more stressed at Under the Bridge than you, and it was your event.
Yeah, you were.
I was like so worried the
but
whole
basically,
day.
we have a good friend Ivan who owns an audio engineering company, and he supplied all the equipment, and the people doing sound and me didn't put it away properly because we were rushing. And that was the only thing Ivan got mad at all day. And I just felt like a failure. I wanted to cry.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. I was like in the corner for like 30 minutes just not talking to anybody.
That's a bummer. Ivan is spicy, though. He'll get over it.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, he's like a mentor for me in the music world.
Absolutely.
So I was like, I failed you, master.
He owns Mi Empanada as well.
Troy's shared with me that's where you go for empanadas.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh, for
spot.
sure. He's so talented.
He'll be on the podcast eventually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We need to have those empanadas here, though, when he shows up for arrival.
I'm
Yeah.
sure he will.
Get the humita. It's like the most
best.
underrated one, which blows my mind because it's so good.
What is it?
It's
Sweet
squash.
potato. Or no, yeah, it's squash and corn.
like corn,
It's
yeah.
very slept on,
It's
but it's
so
so good.
good.
Apparently,
Okay.
it comes from like an Argentine soup, which is
Yeah.
the same thing. It's like squash soup with corn.
So
Just-
good. And like it's slept on. I'm like, if you discontinue it, I'm never gonna talk to you again. So like I push it every time I can.
That's awesome. Bryer, a lot of stress in your life. We see a lot of guests here to manage their stress. Type A personalities, people spinning a lot of plates. I really think you're going to be into this.
Yeah.
But as you shared, as you came in, you have a little bit of apprehension. You're a little nervous.
Wicked nervous.
Right on.
Yeah.
What questions do you have?
Oh man, what if I get bored?
Right on. Well, you're in there by yourself, no sound,
Yeah.
and you're floating weightlessness, like complete weightlessness. Just focus on your breath. Give
Okay.
yourself the hour. We just had a couple rookies in earlier today, and I was sharing with them, in your first float, just give yourself the hour, and your body will thank you when you step out. It's
Yeah.
not until you step out.
Why
It's-
do you think that is?
I just think it's such a different environment for us that that complete darkness, the weightlessness, no stimulus coming in. It really is an involuntary relaxation practice
Okay.
for the body. Depending on how much is spinning in your mind, you may have some trouble closing down tabs and getting to your breath
Yeah.
and finding like your baseline. But as far as physicality goes, it's an involuntary relaxation. When you lay down on top of that water, our solution is 3 times as dense as the Dead Sea.
Wow.
So it's really like a passive push back up onto your body, and all of your muscles can relax.
Oh my gosh.
And to get that weight and tension off of the physical body, everything else just starts to relax. I mean, I know Troy's floated too quite frequently. What would you say to somebody who's a little nervous, man?
Just say take a deep breath and just kind of let it do its thing. Have you ever meditated?
Yeah, a little bit. I wouldn't say I'm like super savvy at it or anything. It's
no
like
one
you said, I have a hard time shutting tabs down. That's a great way to explain it.
Yeah.
Well, just try and meditate with it, like I said, like just, I don't want to say look at yourself. I feel like that'll kind of naturally happen. Just let the experience happen, and you're probably going to have the best sleep you've had in a little while tonight.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I don't
Be
want to
awesome.
ruin it now. But no, like where Dave was saying, kind of just let it happen. It's like when you get out, you'll feel the difference in your body more than your mind immediately, and then
Yeah.
the mental's kind of later.
So here's a question. I read that people like almost hallucinate. Has that ever happened to you?
It depends what you want to talk about hallucination. If you're talking hallucination like a psychedelic, it's not that strong.
Okay.
You're not going to see the aliens on your first trip in,
Yeah,
in
all
the
right.
tank.
I didn't think so, but I was just curious from your experience.
No,
like,
right on. What we see quite a bit for first-time guests that spend a lot of time in front of a screen, especially someone who's so linked in with marketing and social media issue, what you'll see is not fractals, but some dark purples, usually.
Okay.
That's the eye healing and just adjusting to the darkness.
That's neat.
Troy was talking meditation. I like to do some like just breath work, that triangle breathing. 3 in, hold it for 3, and 3 out. My mind feels very active as well. And another good tip is if you find yourself racing, settle yourself with your breath. I always find the first couple minutes I'm in the tank, my breath is real choppy. I can tell how anxious I am or how much I have going on depending on my breath. And as complex as our minds are, they can only do one thing at once. So if you just start counting your breaths and focus on that, it'll bring you back to baseline and settle yourself.
Cool.
What other questions do you have? Levity.
I would also just say if you do start to get nervous, like think of things you're grateful for and just
Yeah.
kind of use it as a time and like, think of like the good things and that'll kind of help stabilize you.
Totally. That's good advice.
That's very good advice. That's
That's
home
good
run.
advice for every moment, I
For
think.
sure. But this is like, you're
Yeah.
just with you, so it'll really help you feel it even more.
Cool. For sure.
Any other questions about the studio, about floating, about
How long have you been open?
right on? This is our 6th year.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been open 6 years. We've hosted close to 20,000 guests.
Holy cow.
But yeah, a lot of people are stressed. A lot of people are stressed.
I would say more people are stressed than not stressed.
Very true.
If you aren't stressed, we need to be learning from this person.
Yeah.
Whoever you are out there, come
like,
forward.
call me because I need to know how you do
Yes,
it.
I accept DMs from that person.
Totally.
All right. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take a break.
Cool.
Bryer, we're going to walk you through, kind of give you a quick onboarding, and then we're going to come right back and have a conversation after your float.
Nice. All
Sweet.
right.
We're out. Oh, we're timing this one.
I'm timing it now.
Oh, were you supposed to last time?
We try to get like a general idea
Come
of
on,
how long.
Troy.
Phone had 3%. I was a busy boy today.
What else is new?
Well, welcome back, everybody. We are here with Bryer after her first float. Tell us how you feel.
I honestly feel great. I'm a little like disoriented almost, if that makes sense. It's just like, it was wild.
Right on. Can
Yeah.
you kind of walk us through your experience? I know before you were very nervous.
Yeah.
Even in our orientation, you asked some questions. We talked about some breathing before, some meditation. Walk us through.
It definitely was hard to settle in. I had a hard time you totally lose time quickly. And I was like, I don't know. But then after a while, I was able to settle in and just breathe. And there's like some real moments where you're just like floating there. It's like when you said you're on the water, that was such a good way. Like I never thought, like I've never done it, but like you're really just on it. You're not, it's wild.
Yeah. Yeah. When you first lie back, when your feet come up, it's definitely a very unique sensation.
Yeah, you're like up more than I thought. It's pretty neat.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. So how was it? Did you close the door right away?
Mm-hmm.
You did.
Yeah.
Look
I
at
mean, if I
that.
was going to do it, I might as well do it,
All in.
right? All in, obviously. Yeah. I really liked it.
right?
Yeah. There were moments where I like hit the edge and I was like, oh shit.
Bumper cars.
Yeah, a little bit. But for the most part, you're just like really, it's hard to even explain. It's
What are some things that helped you while you were in there? I mean, a lot of our guests, are first time. It's not something that's really prevalent. So a lot of the first time people that come in here do have a lot of nervousness. When you got in there, what was anything that really helped calm those nerves?
I could hear myself breathe. And so it was really easy to like channel in on that. And then your advice about holding your arms over your head was actually really helpful because I was like, what the heck do I do with myself? And like I ended up having my arms over my head almost the entire time. So it was like great.
Yeah, it's one of those things that until you really get in the tank, there's just no real way to describe that.
Yeah, it's wild.
Especially just
You
leaning
seem
back.
so much more relaxed and giddy. Like you're always happy, but right now you're just
I'm
like,
just like, well, it's just such a novel experience too, which is always exciting.
yes,
So.
yes.
Yeah, that's one of the ways. Like it's just so different. Like
Yeah.
to describe that. I mean, I'm sure Troy tried to share with you before what it's like, but
You can't.
No,
until you do
yeah,
it.
you really can't. And like my friends were like, "Tell me how it is." I don't think that I could. Like it's cool. You
So, yeah,
should
go
do
do
it. Yeah.
Go do it.
So in there, another thing that we talked about too prior was how many tabs you have running in
Yeah.
your mind, and like that mental browser of like, so when the music went off and faded out, and you were left alone with that silence, how many tabs did you see open?
A few. I had a few open for sure. And it was like, I felt like it was like waves. Like there were moments where I was like really unplugged and I really felt it. And then other times I was like, ah, man, I'm in a tank. Like, okay. Like, how
Like a
long have I
fish.
been in the tank? Yeah, for sure. Like an alien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good word to use, unplugged. What would you say like you were most plugged into stress-wise before getting in that you were able to work through?
Oh my, that's a heavy question, Troy.
You
There's
don't have to go that deep.
There's a lot going on in my life. I'm like in between things, which is stressful, and like we're trying to buy and build a house, which is stressful, and his family's
dope.
in town, which is stressful, and like it is.
Good thing this is dropping after they leave.
I know. Well, oh, man, it's been a long week to say the least.
This was
So,
very needed.
yeah. Oh my God. I would have like came and sat in the parking lot just to get him.
Understood.
Yeah, speaking of the parking lot, when you first got here, Dave was like, "Oh my God, you're so close to the edge. You're gonna topple over."
that was up to him. I don't know.
We did have some concerns.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things that until you get in there, you don't really understand how stressed you are.
Right.
I think we all get into like the cycle of life of this is just how it is, whether you're working on projects or you're organizing events or what have you, and you just lose track of
Totally.
how busy you are and how much your body and mind need a break. So like closing those tabs, how did you work through that? You shared you did have some stressful stuff, but how did you kind of topple that?
I mean, I tried to just really embrace what was going on because, I mean, I had to talk about it after. So I really wanted to, like, focus on, like, what I was doing. And it was helpful, and your advice was helpful. I don't know. It's just easy to kind of, once you're in there, because there's nothing to focus on besides, like, staying in the middle.
Right.
So, yeah, it's just easy to, like, I'm sorry. It's not a great answer.
No, it's fine.
No, yeah.
Do like now that you've done it, and especially because you are in the middle of things, do you feel like more creative, more like, not that you have a direction, because you always have a direction, but like, maybe more like you can grasp something or a way you want to move?
Yeah, I feel like I'm recharged. I feel rested. I don't know if I have like sudden clarity on my life because I don't think I ever will, but like I do feel at peace with today, which is always good, right?
That's a
yeah,
start.
it's a start.
And that after that music came back on and you stepped out, can you describe that feeling?
I feel like it's sinking in right now more than
Right.
it was like when I got out. I was like, whoa, like, what the heck? And it was like kind of cold, so like hopping in the shower was really nice. And like now sitting here, like I feel my body feels good. It feels my shoulder doesn't hurt. I'm like, wow, that was nice.
And when you stepped out, did it feel different to you? Or when you were in there, how did it feel coming out?
I'm not sure. I'm not totally sure. It did feel different. I was honestly disoriented. I was just like, whoa, what the heck just happened? But not in a bad way. It was definitely just kind of like, all right, I'm still in Squirrel Hill, like, for
Not
sure.
in outer space.
Yeah,
Not, in outer
not
space.
an alien any longer. Yeah, for sure. And so then it was kind of like and I like had my glasses off, so I was like, where the heck am I? Like, totally.
So is this something that you think as somebody with a type A personality? Is that how you would describe yourself?
Like AB, I would say.
AB.
I can see
Understood.
that.
Understood.
Yeah, like I'm chill, but I'm not chill, if that makes sense.
It,
We're not chill.
You only see me in like the most stressful situation.
It's all good. It's vice versa too,
Yeah,
you know.
that's fair.
always good. Just to de-escalate that stress. I mean, it's good to see you afterwards.
Yeah.
You did come in very nervous.
Totally.
I mean, every guest we have, whether it's their first float, especially if it's their first float, come in nervous. And to see you, like, recharged afterwards. I don't know you as well as Troy does, but like I said, I can definitely see the difference in your just demeanor.
Totally. I would do this again. I just got a massage like 2 weeks ago, and it was awful. I like hated it, and I was in pain for 3 days, and it was a bummer. And so I feel like this is better than that, because it's not like counting on a third party to really do the right thing, kind of thing.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Yeah, you're just kind of like on your own, hanging out.
I think massages are super tough because of that. No
Yeah.
matter what, we're a couple really good body workers that we're close with, but no matter what, you're always dependent on them having a good day too.
Right.
Or
yeah.
it's difficult if they want to have a conversation and you don't want to have a conversation.
Oh, no. Oh.
Right?
You'd
No.
never want to have a conversation.
No, thank
Right.
you. No, pass.
But with here, you come in, you have a good experience, you get in the tank. It's just you, only you. And it's truly time for just yourself and reflection of how you are.
Yeah.
And like I said, the first one is like the appetizer, because you did come in very nervous, and even with that, still seeing how you were able to relax afterwards. The next time you just come in and it's easy peasy.
Yeah, it's always like, I feel like I'll come back and I'll be like, all right,
Yeah,
hopping
then you
in.
can kind of like maybe pick something that you want to focus on, like a
Yeah.
problem, and
Is that what
through
you
it.
do?
I try to. Doesn't always
Yeah.
work, but I try to.
I feel like there are too many problems to just pick one, you know?
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I mean, I shared with you before we got on air how I've been going back home more recently to be with my family and connect with them. One of the times I floated recently, it actually was to think about that and like relationship with my dad, because things had been rocky at times. And so, you know, in that instance, that's a specific problem, and it did help.
Yeah.
Like, it's not perfect. I've been back
it's
like
such
3
intentional
times, but-
clarity. So that's like
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. Being intentional is good most of the time, right?
Yeah, certainly, especially
Or what's that saying? Good intentions like pave the road. What is it?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, come on, someone's got to know
Good
that.
intentions pave the road to.
It's like they pave the road to hell or something.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're saying.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
The road to hell is paved,
It's paved with good intentions, yeah.
interesting.
We've deviated.
Interesting.
Sorry.
All good. But Troy's right. That's what I mean. When that's that tool to get in the tank and to have your own time to reflect through your thoughts. The first one is like you have training wheels.
Yeah.
No matter what. Like you have training wheels in that first one. But after that, you check in and take your own time and to focus on things. Whether it's you set an intention or you don't, but it's calming.
How often do you float? You seem like the most chill person I've encountered in 2020. So I feel like it must be because you float all the time.
It is. I float about once a week.
Nice.
And we have 2 kids at home, running a business in 2020 that's still doing well.
Just being alive in 2020 is hard. So you're fortunate to have a tank. I
Right
guess.
on. And each time it always just gives you what you need.
Yeah.
I can go in with an intention and things to focus on, but generally I just come back to baseline and reflecting of myself of like, am I a good person? Am I not?
Yeah.
What side of the line am I on?
Yeah. Whew. Those are some heavy questions.
Yeah, but they're good to ask. They're good to ask. If you don't spend time in that reflection, then you find so many blind spots.
Yeah.
Truth.
For sure. Yeah. So like for the most part, would you say you're a good person?
It depends who you'd ask. But,
I feel like,
Depends what day.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Troy's caught me on some cranky days, but
Same.
yeah, it's no, I mean that's all. You want to be on the one side of the line of doing better, and whether it's visible to others or not, I think that's most important, especially as we are in 2020 and a lot of things are crazy. I think now's the time to double down on doing the right thing, of helping people out when they truly need it. And a lot of us that live with anxiety or depression, I just heard this the other day, that if you're feeling helpless, become helpful to someone. You can't be
that's great
helpful
advice.
and helpless at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me.
I think too a good thing that you pointed out to me last time is you noticed when I came in for one of our last podcasts that I was stressed, but it's, everyone has that, but can you still manage it and get your task done?
Right.
'Cause everyone's allowed to have bad days.
Yeah. And without like pushing your bad day onto like
exactly,
snapping at people and stuff. Totally.
And you're right.
Everyone knows a person like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And it's one of those things where everybody can be mad, and it's totally like everybody feels that. We're, as much as we are not the same, we are all the same, and everybody can feel mad, but it's not okay to act mad.
Right.
Those are the times where you look back and like, ooh, that was not okay.
Yeah.
That was not okay.
Totally. For sure.
So you have anything on the agenda for tonight, especially with this newfound golden
Everyday noodled soup dumplings is on my agenda tonight.
Dumplings.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, this is the podcast is done. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah, we're
I'm
bringing
jealous.
some home to my fiance's family. We're like, this is the best food you're gonna eat this whole week. Like, here you go.
Ooh, I think there's some things that we could unpack there.
You don't think so? You think I think everyday noodle soup dumplings are top notch.
Yeah.
I've never had them because sad
Here.
face, I don't have vegan ones, but I know about the soup dumpling life.
Dude.
And
Whew.
trust me, I wish
They're
I was
so
in your house
good.
tonight.
No, you don't.
Oof. Bryer, where can the people find you before we get out of here?
I guess on Instagram.
Right on.
Bryer, BRYERLB.
Awesome. Do you have anything going on that you want to share?
No.
Sweet.
Not really.
Sweet. It was great to meet you. Great to have you in. Wonderful to see you afterwards. Like I said, I mean, that's one of the biggest gifts that we see when people come through, whether it's their first time or their 12th time, to see the relief on them and feel that afterwards. Like, you just have a much more even, balanced energy right now than you did. I mean, it's just normal nervous energy for that first float, but it's a true gift to see you now.
Well, thank you. This was a true gift as well. I really appreciate it. That was awesome.
Right.
Thanks for bringing me in, Troy.
Troy,
For sure.
anything for the people?
Stay good, people.
Awesome. If you yourself are overstressed right now and want to break from the world in 2020 when things are piling up on you, head over to scheduleyourfloat.com. Get yourself right with a 60 or 90-minute float. Come in, escape the world, be treated well, have a great experience. We love you. We're out.